Your Honor, I'm here today to talk about the Tom Robinson v. the People of Alabama case from last year. Well, what do you want to ask me, boy? You know me, and you know how much a follower of the law I am. But I've been thinking about it, and I just can't believe you allowed the jury to convict a man that was obviously not guilty. You known he wasn't guilty. I known he wasn't guilty. Everyone in their mama's known he wasn't guilty. But that don't change the fact that in this country, especially in this state, don't know racism listen to good sound logic. Your Honor, it just doesn't make any sense. You could have started the change. No, I couldn't. The jury could have, but as a judge, you know I had to stay away from taking no sides. Your Honor, what would have mattered more, an innocent man's life or your position as a judge? No, don't go doing that, Atticus. I did the very best I could with the situation that was there in front of me. I stayed as impartial as I could. Stayed asleep is what you did. Hey, now I thought this was supposed to be a discussion, not an argument. And I thought you would have been a better person. I always looked up to you as a man of the law, and I still do. But I also looked up to you as a man of character. Clearly, I was mistaken. Atticus, you know I love you, and I always have. But you have to realize that there was nothing I could do at the time, and I sure can't do nothing about it now. So, why don't you tell me what's really going on? I failed him, Your Honor. I failed him and his family. Helen and his 3 children, they were waiting on him to get home. He never got the chance to. Helen has breast cancer, Your Honor. She was diagnosed on Tuesday. Oh, Atticus, I'm so sorry. I had no clue, honest. I just want some closure, Your Honor. I feel responsible for Tom's death, and there's nothing I can do about that anymore. I've been reflecting for months, and I just can't do it anymore. I've had so much hurt in my heart for the Robinson family for almost a year now. I've got to find somebody else to associate that with. I know you're not the guilty party here. And I'm sorry that I made you out to be, but it's just hard to remember who's who in this town. I know, Atticus. Macomb is racist beyond compare. Can't tell you how many cases I've heard where a black man or black woman is, in my opinion, clearly innocent, but this town, this racist old town, still convicted him. Most of them were smaller charges than rape, but it doesn't matter. It's all the same. This town is racist, through and through. I'm real sorry, boy, but there just isn't much I can do. Wait, what if there was something we could do? What are you talking about, boy? Well, it was clear that Bobule was guilty, and it was clear that Mayella was a victim of the town and of her own love. But they couldn't have convicted Tom by themselves, right? I mean, they had to have had some help. What about Heck Tate? Could we initiate a legal trial regarding him? I mean, he clearly won't bring charges up on himself. So is there any legal recourse we could take? Atticus. No, I know you're hurting. And you just want to find a solution, but I mean, there just ain't much we can do. Well, I mean, I guess we could bring up a civil suit on him. That might help Helen and her cancer battle, right? We could charge him under USC Section 1983. I mean, it was clear that he racially profiled the case, right? if you can prove that he either believed Bob Ewell because he was white or charged Tom Robinson because he was black, well, sure, you just might have a case. That could actually work. I mean, Hectate's a good man and he does a good job protecting the city, but he's got to pay. Hectate is the real reason Tom Robinson was convicted. I just got to prove it. Your Honor, we're here today to charge Sheriff Hectate under USC Section 1983, stemming from the matter of the sexual abuse of Miss Mayella Ewell, heard in your courtroom last year. Proceed. Your Honor, Mr. Tate was the arresting officer and the supervisor in the investigation of Tom Robinson last year. Robinson was arrested even though there was no medical evidence, nor any physical evidence to support his arrest. Just circumstantial evidence and an eyewitness account that would be considered shaky at best. There was absolutely no logical reason for Mr. Tate to arrest Mr. Robinson, unless there was. You see, Mayella and Bob Ewell were white, and Tom was not. Now, for most people in the South, that would be enough to arrest Tom Robinson. But Hectate is different. He has a record of being fair, a record of being racially tolerant. So why would that all change now? You see, this was the question I should have been asking all along. Now, the Ewells were never a rich family, so Mr. Tate couldn't have accepted a bribe from them, right? I operated under this assumption until I looked into Mr. Ewell's family background. And believe it or not, Bob Ewell's grandfather has more than $8 million to his name in Montgomery. Bob and his grandfather had been estranged for more than 20 years, but coincidentally reunited about 4 months before the trial began. Here comes the smoking gun. Last year, on the day of the verdict in the case of Tom Robinson v. the people of Alabama, Bob Ewell's grandfather made a payment of $200,000 to a Miss Beth Johnson. This is Hectate's daughter in South Carolina. Mr. Tate, do you refute any of these charges? I can't believe I'm saying this, Your Honor, but no, I don't. Then, as this is a civil trial, I can't sentence you to any jail time. However, I can require you to pay the Robinsons a sum of money. So I sentence you to a payment of $400,000, $200,000 for money gained, and $200,000 for damages. So ordered.